In this bulletin, if you have not been jabbed, prepare for delays. Health Ministry gives Fijians reassurance. And Tampuya ready to work with Rambuka in 2022. The second batch of COVID-19 vaccines under the COVAX facility will take longer to arrive than earlier anticipated. The United Nations Fiji office has confirmed they were hoping to receive the shipment by the end of the month, but this will now not be possible. This means those who miss out on getting vaccinated this time around will have to wait a little while longer. Kritika Kumar reports.
There is no precise date when the second batch will be available for Fiji.
We were only able to get 12,000 in so far. We had hoped to have the second batch in by now, by the end of April, several more thousand. But there were some challenges with the production line, and so as a result it has been delayed.
There is no precise date when the second batch will be available for Fiji. The first shipment of 12,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine was received last month, and Sanaka Samarasina says the UN office here is in constant contact with manufacturers to see when we can expect another batch. In the meantime, he has encouraged Fijians to get the jab.
As the vaccines come in, it's available now, go get it, get the jab now. Look at me, I have taken the vaccine 2 days ago. I look as bright as the sun.
The International Labour Organization adds, Fijians getting vaccinated will positively impact the employment sector.
Indirectly and directly, the vaccination process in Fiji and across in the neighboring countries and will actually have a positive impact on the economic situation in these countries.
Fijians are now becoming more eager to get the vaccine after the misinformation was cleared up. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Every Fijian who has received the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine has their second dose stored away by the Health Ministry. Minister Dr. Feremi Waganambete confirmed to FBC News that these will be administered 3 months from that when Fijians receive their first jab. Jeshu Lal reports the Health Ministry is working to administer all available COVID-19 vaccine by Saturday.
Based on current projections, the Health Ministry should complete administering their first dose of vaccine in 2 days.
We are likely and we're hoping, we want to be able to complete it by Sunday. As we've alluded to, what we want to do is then have the ability to have 8 to 12 weeks. That's been shown to be able to give the most benefit for the second dose. So that's the whole level of the exercise.
That the country needs more vaccines, and I'm sure the government on its own level are talking to other embassies and high commissions as to the need for the vaccines in the country.
The second dose of the vaccine is in cold storage until recipients become eligible for their second shot.
When we, for example, when we had the 12,000 doses that came initially, so there was 6,200, meaning that the 6,200, we kept the other 6,200 doses. And those 50,000 that will be vaccinated now, we will keep the other 50,000 of the total 100,000 doses.
More than 50,000 Fijians so far have registered under the Health Ministry's vaccination registration online platform. Jeshulal, FBC News.
SODELPA parliamentarian Linda Tampuya has made it clear that time will tell if she stays on with SODELPA or moves to join another party. However, she has not ruled out the possibility of joining her former leader Sitiveni Rambuka's proposed political party. Tampuya confirms she has been approached by a team that works around the former SODELPA leader. However, there have been no direct talks with Rambuka to join the proposed political party. Meanwhile, Rambuka says he does not want to jeopardize Tampuya's position as a senior member of the SODELPA caucus.
Not directly with Mr. Rambuka, but there are those that work around him that have approached me. There are also those in other political parties that have approached me.
For her, the easiest person to work with out of Parliament or in another party would be me. And that's my view, not hers. Make that very clear.
The Suva Magistrates Court will rule today on the application made to extradite Canadian national Joshua Aziz Rahman to New Zealand for drug-related charges. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions filed a motion and affidavit a week ago seeking orders for Joshua Rahman to be extradited to New Zealand to be tried for criminal charges. Rahman has been charged in New Zealand for drug-related offences. The Canadian national is charged with one count of unlawful possession of illicit drugs in Fiji and is now awaiting judgment by the Suva High Court. The matter will be called this afternoon. The first ever Higher Education Forum next week will look at how to bridge the gap between tertiary institutions and the workforce. Fiji Higher Education Commission Acting Chief Executive Vijay Naidu says the forum will help realign programs and courses to meet the labour needs of various industries. Naidu says higher education provides industries and stakeholders to join hands to try and fill the void in the workforce.
Industry has got a lot of skill gaps, and they require the higher education institutions to meet with them so that they could fill in those skill gaps. We need the higher education institutions to talk to industry so that the two can sit in the same room, thresh out any issues they might have, and for the betterment of the nation, for the betterment of the country, find those links.
The management board of the Nua District School in Singatoka is planning to build more teachers' quarters. The head teacher says they continue to receive an increasing number of students enrolled at the school, hence the need to have more teachers to cushion the demand. He adds they've been receiving assistance from the Education Ministry as well as the Outrigger Fiji Beach Resort. However, the school committee has decided to carry out a school bazaar and reunion next week to guarantee adequate financial footing to execute those development projects.
We are planning to build another teachers' quarters so that we can allow other teachers to come and provide quality education to our children.
Up ahead, $5 million draw takes shape and call made for bringing back events at Fiji Finals. Stay with us. The Fijian draw will need about $5 million by July 30th before the final box is ticked for its Super Rugby journey. Aquila Dhamma will tell us more about what the Fiji Rugby needs to do from now until July 30th.
The dream of playing with the big boys will soon come true, but first we need money, and lots of it.
But equally importantly, they wanted teams to have the financial backing to ensure they can sustain themselves over a long period of time.
The Ndrua may be sailing in unknown waters at the moment, but are confident to meet the July deadline.
Our discussions with private investors is way down the line. We won't be in this position having a team if New Zealand Rugby felt that our model and our discussions with our investors wouldn't be sustainable.
Scores! FRU knows the risk they are taking, and that's why they are a step ahead.
If everything falls into place, money will not be the issue for them, which is a separate company.
Many have sacrificed a lot to get Pacific Rugby recognized 25 years after the sport turned professional.
And there was a real battle going on behind the scenes. Everyone was trying to find a place in professional rugby, but unfortunately the Pacific Islands got left out.
However, now we are finally on the winning side.
Celebrations and probably dancing on the streets of many of the villages out there in the Pacific.
I am absolutely chuffed.
We can celebrate for now, but the game is not over yet. Aquila Dhamma, FBC Sports.
Baba Azam made his first international 2020 century as Pakistan cruised to a target of 204 and a 9-wicket victory against South Africa. Baba, who ended Virat Kohli's 1,258-day reign at the top of the one-day international batting rankings earlier, brought up his century of 50 balls with 11 fours and 4 sixes, eventually fell for 122. Captain Baba had scored 4 domestic and franchise centuries in T20s, the shortest format of the game, and his first international one came in his 48th innings. Former deathlete and Olympian Albert Miller is calling for the reintroduction of the hurdles and triple jump in all grades at the Coca-Cola Games. The two events were dropped as athletes showed little interest over the years, but Miller believes Fiji has the potential to bring out some of the competitors. The triple jump has limited coverage in the Coca-Cola Games, while the hurdles are included at all. Miller says reintroducing these events at all levels of secondary schools' athletics competitions will help revive the two sports.
We have to introduce the events, otherwise, it's always something that we dream for, and we need it in the system before we can start selecting good athletes in the hurdles, especially.
The Silver Zone 100-meter sub-junior gold medalist Joshua Nduthia is optimistic of having another successful outing in next week's Coca-Cola Games. With teams like Murray's Brothers, Natambua High School, RKS and QVS, who are all gunning for the top prize, who will be competing in the 100, 4x100 meters and the high jump events, Nduthia will need to put the extra effort going up against these schools. The Ratu Sukuna Memorial School athlete hopes to create his own legacy in the 2021 Coca-Cola Games and win not one but 3 gold medals for his school.
Of course, because we don't have much time training together. Because most of the time I always come and train with my coach, Bala Tafo, and it's very difficult for us just to come together and train as a team.
Fine apart from isolated afternoon showers, moderate southeast winds, moderate sea breeze during the day. That's FBC Morning News. Join us at 7 p.m. for a major bulletin. For news you can trust, get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Take care and good morning.